your girl, Gabby, and you are tuning in another episode of Culture Unplugged.
Yes, sir.
I'm here with my beautiful and handsome co-hosts.
Your boy, Justin.
Tanisha.
Pierre Cochran.
And there you have it. And, you know, our boy Don, he is not here today, but, you know, he's
Everybody
always
need a day
here.
off. It's all
Everybody
good.
need a day off. So listen, y'all, please forgive me. Yesterday was my birthday, and I had a lot of fun.
Happy birthday.
While we
Yeah.
on that topic, let's all do a special happy birthday to Gabby.
Let's do it.
Yes,
Let's
yes.
do
So I
it.
do
wanna say
have a little
happy-
something for you. You know, they say to give everybody their flowers
Yeah.
while they here.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Hold on
Yeah.
now.
Okay.
Hold
What we
on
got?
now.
What we got?
This is
What we got?
unexpected, but I'm here for it.
What we got? What we got?
Oh, this girl got a whole, I hear bags.
What we
I hear
got?
bags, y'all. This is exciting.
It's the gift that keeps giving. Okay.
Thank you,
Okay.
friend.
Okay.
Y'all, this is, I love you, girl. Thank you. Listen, that's my bitch. That's my bitch.
Boy.
I'm finna have to drink now. Now I'm finna have to drink.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
so we're going to pop the wine open, okay?
we
got
gonna
the
pop
Stella
the wine
Rose.
open.
All right.
But we already had a lit day yesterday.
Man.
Brunch.
Okay.
Birthday
Pierre,
parties,
mama birthday party.
Okay.
Then
the
what?
cigar lounge.
Cigar
Cigar
lounge.
lounge.
See, I don't even. I just
Local
know I was
legends.
outside.
They showed me a good
We ain't
time.
getting
Virgo
house till 4 in the
season.
morning.
It's amazing, y'all. It's amazing.
Hey, y'all already know what season up next. I ain't
It
gotta
don't,
talk
it don't
about
matter. It's Virgo
We still
season
on
right
Virgo
now.
season right
Okay,
now.
okay.
Okay,
I'm
let
just,
me have
All
a
right,
moment.
we ain't
that's
get
just
there
a plug.
yet.
That's just a
We ain't
plug.
get there
That's just a
yet.
You
plug.
always trying to steal my shine.
Libra season.
Hey.
Let me have my moment.
Got your
All
moment.
right, y'all.
But yes.
So look, we were talking about this Tyrese interview, right? What was it? Club Shay Shay?
Club Shay Shay.
Club Shay Shay. And when I say that, the man is smart. He made a lot of valid points in that interview. It was 2.5 hours long. I dozed off a few times, but I got I did. That man can talk. It was some good stuff, man. And one of the things that he spoke about was the influence that social media has on our lives,
Yeah.
and how we tend to put on a facade to make things look good to the outside world. Justin had a real good point that he spoke on as well. So
Yeah, so one of the things that I tripped off of is with social media, right? Like, it's becoming very, very hard to tell what's real and what's fake. You know what I'm saying? Because what I think is fake, everybody think is real, right? And what's real, everybody think is fake, or they think it's square, or they think it's just not the thing to do,
Corny.
right? Or corny. You know what I'm saying? One of the things that Tyrese touched on was when it came to relationships. You know, everybody has this fairy tale image of what a relationship is, right? So he was like, that's leading to less marriages, because the first time somebody faced adversity or a situation in a relationship, they call it quits. It's cold turkey. This ain't it. It ain't for me. I'm back in these streets. Talk to me.
Yeah, so
No
the major
endurance.
thing is that what you see on social media is not always what's going on behind closed doors. There's a lot of times where people in happy long relationships that they've gone through things that social media will never know. So people aren't always putting out the flaws and the arguments and the rough times. They're displaying the happy moments. They're displaying the vacations, the ceremonies, the events, everything that makes everything look and appear great. But it's like there's weeks where people go without talking, and that's something Tyrese said, where we may be in the same house,
Right, right.
and we not even talking for weeks. You upstairs, I'm downstairs, you on the couch. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of that going on. So we need to be more expressive of the bad times and let people know, like, hey, you don't have to just jump ship just because something bad went on.
And
you know what I'm saying?
And that happens now because, in my opinion, we don't have any like endurance with anything. It takes me back to the subtle art of not giving a fuck. He talks about in the book how our generation has become weak. You know, we do not have any kind of endurance to deal with any kind of struggles, any kind of problems, any kind of conflicts. We give up way too fast. We say, "Oh, this just ain't for me," and because we think everything is supposed to be easy, so it's made our generation soft when it comes to the things that you need to be strong about. It's one thing to go throughout your life, you know, knowing it's a mindset. Same with social media. We got to know that what we seeing in these music videos and social media, these things are fake. They are rented cars. They rented houses. You know, we don't think like that. We're not teaching younger generations, the people behind us, to think that way. So now we got a whole bunch of, again, I'm back to delusion. We got a whole bunch of delusional people walking around thinking that this is the way of the world, and it's really not.
Yeah.
And what people don't understand is, like, there is no championships ever to be won without adversity.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? There is no championships without challenges. And everybody wants to have that championship ring, whether it's a wedding ring, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, but they don't want no adversity.
Right.
You got to have an opponent. You know what I'm saying? And your opponent, in order for y'all to meet in the championship, he got to be good enough to make it to the championship. So that means that these problems that y'all going to come against, they not going to be small problems all the time. Sometimes they're going to be big problems.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And you have to be willing to endure whatever it is to get through it. Like, say, for instance, I just take a personal situation in my life, right? In my life, like, I'm married, and I've been married going on 10 years now, right? But before I got married, I was with my wife almost 15 years, right? That was probably the worst 15 years of both of our lives. Because guess what? We not only had to learn each other, we had to learn ourselves. And we did it backwards. We tried to learn ourselves after we learned the other person. And it was crazy. So I ended up having to separate from my wife and learn myself.
Yeah.
And it gave her opportunity to learn herself. And then when we came back, I finally got the understanding of self, so I knew what I was willing to deal with, I wasn't willing to deal with. I had a better understanding of myself, right? And then I can help her with herself, and she helped me with myself.
Correct.
You know, so, but it had to do a lot with adversity and overcoming adversity, and not just quitting.
Yeah. Yeah. When you talk about learning yourself, and I think we touched on this a few episodes back. For me personally, like I used to idolize these beautiful black couples. They're married. They showing us all the fancy things that you know that happens in marriage, but not the real stuff, the hard stuff, right? And so I used to be one of those people that's like, oh, I want that one day, right? As I started to learn myself and really dive into what it takes to be in a real long committed marriage, I realized I'm not willing to put up with a lot of shit. So I don't even want marriage right now. I don't want to be in no relationship right now because there's certain things that I know I'm not willing to put up with. So I feel like when people are in these relationships and they're expecting marriage and all of that, you gotta be willing to put up with some shit. You want marriage, but the minute, like you said, some real shit happened, you packing up or you putting them out your house and you packing up and you leaving, you don't want the shit for real. You don't want marriage if you can't really be committed to everything. What you always say, you gotta see people in every season, and that I ain't ready for that.
And it's our responsibilities to make sure that we whole, you know, to make sure that we are, like he said, we know ourselves. If we don't take out our time to know ourselves, to isolate ourselves, sometimes that's what it takes, and really identify, well, what are my triggers? What things rub me the wrong way? What takes me over the edge? What bothers me? Why does it bother me? Where did this start? And where does it end? We don't get that far. What we do is we tear the people down around us before we even we want them to change, but we don't want to change. And that's not gonna work. It's never gonna work that way. What did Gandhi say? Be the change you want to see in the world. It starts with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
That's why therapy is really, really important, because people need to understand themselves before trying to make it work in a relationship. I think that once you guys are together, you guys can do some couples therapy and things like that, but knowing your triggers, knowing what makes you happy, what brings you joy, knowing how we can work together and things like that. It's just gonna really play, like, your mental health and everything like that. It's gonna play a big part on how everybody operates in the relationship, even when you have kids and family and everything like that. So a lot of different personalities that you have to consider in your everyday. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, and I agree with you totally, right? One of the things that I found to be very important and much so overlooked is not the concept of getting married, right? Because we covered getting married, right? We know that before you get married and things like that or find a spouse, you first have to like check in with self, right? And make sure that you straight, right? Because it's hard for hurt people to go heal people, right? You know what I'm saying? So we definitely want to make sure that we all the way whole before we ask somebody else for their whole self, right? We can't come with a partial self, right? But once we get with that person, one thing that I found out that people really don't, that like cut ties really quick, make people cut ties really quick, is the idea of maintenance. Like, people really don't want to maintain anything. After the wedding, man, I'm telling you, like, the wedding bells and the wedding sales, right? You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? People make a lot of money off weddings.
Oh yeah.
Right? And people think it's
divorces.
all hilarious and it's fun and games and stuff like that. Then you end up back in the house after the honeymoon and y'all looking at each other and y'all just like, okay, what now?
Yeah.
Right.
Right? And as you continue, year 1, year 2, year 3, that flame starts to blow out like a candle in the wind, right?
Start to dwindle.
But some people don't understand that, hey, check this out. That wax is still wax. Sometimes it just needs some working to get back molded again. You know what I'm saying? And people really don't want to put the work in. I think they think that it's supposed to last forever. Like, make it last forever. What Keith Sweat say? You know, make it last forever. But see, make it last forever takes work.
Yeah.
And I think people don't want to work.
Yep.
They
Absolutely.
think that it's supposed to just stay the same, and it doesn't.
Yep. And in this age of technology that we in, it make it even harder and even more confusing, because you have social media, like we talked about. You have things like, you know, just to take it there, that gives us this false sense of what reality is supposed to look like. You got things like pornography, tainting and ruining people's minds, you know, changing the way that they think about what sex, sexuality, and beauty should look like. And then we take it and it affects everything that we do. It distorts every single thing, every aspect of our lives. So again, it falls back on us to, for one, check in with ourselves, have discernment, understand that people are only going to show you their highlight reels, which they should. You know, why would we get up here and we talk about all the things that's going wrong in our lives? One thing I like about Justin, and this
No, it's all good. It's all good.
you have a mindset of how do we, you know, you see problems as opportunities to grow. You just did it. Like, how do we make it to where this problem don't happen and then have contingencies on top of contingencies? If everybody had that mindset, we'd be so much further,
Yeah.
you know, naturally. But it takes practice. It's something that develops over a lifetime. Learning to not fall into this dark pit of despair every time something goes wrong, and then using social media as your measure of how good your life is in comparison to other people. It's delusional.
Right.
That's the word of the year for me. It's we
Delusional.
walking
It is very
around
delusional.
with our heads in the clouds.
Hey, that's funny. Demure and delusional. Them the words of the week, right
I'm
there.
telling you. I'm telling you.
Straight
Words of the
up.
month for sure.
Demure and delusional.
The words
We
of
adding
the
delusional to the D list.
I'm telling
You
you.
know what I'm saying? So I like what you said, man. That's one of the things that I pride myself in, man, is finding problems, right? I just attack problems. Like, I attack them. And sometimes I call myself like a buffalo, right? So I had researched buffaloes and cows, right? And cows, to me, are cowards. Those are people that get in relationships, that get in position, and when things happen bad, the storm come, they run away from the storm, right? And then you got the buffaloes who natural instinct is to run at the storm. Well, as a result, what happens is the buffalo, he runs at the storm, and the storm passes a lot faster than it does with the cow. The cow usually usually exists in the storm longer than they should. So I have a big problem with people who basically 10, 13, 15 years down the line, they still struggling with the same problems that they struggled with 10 years ago. And it's like, bruh, it's because every time that problem come up, you run from it, right? You can find somebody and they are what you are, right? They are what you are. When I say they are what you are, they ain't perfect. And guess what? You might think you perfect and you not, right? So when that problem shows its face, you run from it. And then you wonder why things are like they are.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
You hit
saying?
it on the nail with that one, because that was kind of one of like red flags I seen in people like while dating. Like if you had an issue or a problem a couple years ago, no problem, but be working towards fixing that,
Right.
or have already started putting some feet down on that, because like why is it that something is lingering for this long that
Yeah.
you
Right.
can't have worked it out or even have been trying to build the next steps to getting it
Correct.
resolved. And for me, when I see that you're not putting any effort into the skeletons in the closet, that just shows what kind of person you are. So,
It's a turn off.
like, I literally realized those are my biggest, like, things that I look for now. Like, somebody who, you don't have to be perfect, but just be willing to fix, constantly grow, and fix these old issues, because we all got them. But what steps are we taking towards therapy? You know, what legal, whatever you got going on, just
Work
keep
on it.
pushing.
But
you
part
know?
of part of the delusion, not to cut you off.
No, you good.
Part of the delusion, the mindset that we all in is you know, we're not forward thinkers. They give us so much distraction intentionally. Not only are you distracted by being a parent or being, you know, in school, you're distracted by relationships, bills, social media, movies, keeping up with the Joneses. They give us so many distractions from our actual problems and the things we need to work. Because, like you said, nobody is perfect. So to keep us in this box almost, where it's like we don't give them an opportunity to see outside of this box. I just am the way that I am. Or, oh, such and such is just like that. That's not no excuse for me.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care about your trauma. I don't care what you've been through. I can understand what you've been through. I can understand the ways that you've been hurt and the way these things affected your life. But that don't mean you're not going to get away with disrespecting me or pushing your trauma off on me or forming some kind of weird trauma bond. And what they say is, like, people who are able to outgrow things tend to outgrow people. Your circles constantly change. You know, my circle has changed. I would say over the past 3 years, my circle has changed drastically to the point I probably only kick it with 3 people that I have the past decade. And that's okay. I love that. Our mindsets are different. I'm not going to get stuck in the loop of social media, of what other people think that I should be doing and how I should move and what I should feel. You stuck in that loop because you in the Lulu land.
That's an excellent point that you brought up, right? And I believe on social media they call it an algorithm, right?
Yep.
People get caught in their algorithms,
Yep.
right? You know what I'm saying? Where they only hang around the same people all day long. They only talk about the same things all day long.
Boom.
And it feel good because guess what? That's what you
Familiarity.
used to,
Exactly.
right? That's what you used to.
Comfort zone.
But then somebody would say they hate what they life or life is lifing or whatever, right? But then they hang around, they keep the same people in their life. They keep the same circle. They
They
keep
not
the same
stretching, they
thing,
not
right?
growing.
They don't break that chain and say, hey, listen, as long as I'm talking to these same people and I'm getting fed the same information, I'm gonna get the same result.
Yeah.
That's hard for people to understand. Like, one thing is, like, I tell people, like, I got a program that I run for the youth, right? And it's called Now for Now, right? So the Now for Now program is, in order to have change now, N-O-W, you got to change your now, N-O-U-N. And that's your people, places, and things.
That's good. That's
Right?
good.
And if you don't change your people, places, and things, you ain't gonna get no change right now. And you probably won't get it later either. Right? So that's one of the things that I developed in my life, right? When things start going wrong, I start checking all the people that I talk to, the places I go, and the things that I have. I start checking them right way. I'm checking them right way. And somebody be like, hey, bro, you changed. I say, thank you. That was my goal.
There you go. There
That
you
part.
Go. That's good.
That was
That
my
part.
goal.
That
Same,
part.
same.
I have I don't even know if I could say friend no more, but once I started to change my circle and change the things that I was doing, business, everything, right? I got you changing. I got you ain't what you used to be.
Look at
That's a
God.
good thing. That's a good thing. I don't want to be what I was when I was 25.
Right.
And so now I talk to this person less. They don't call no more. They don't. I ain't got no happy birthday.
experienced
You
the
know,
same
and
thing.
it's,
They
and
bored
it's,
with you
it's
and you
like,
bored
baby,
with them.
whatever you need to do, then that's
Yes,
fine. Because
absolutely.
it just shows you who's meant to be in this season, in my circle in this season.
And it's gonna change again.
And it's gonna change,
And it's gonna change again.
It's gonna
Hey, listen.
evolve.
I got a saying for that, man. Hey, anybody can be po with you, but everybody can't grow with you, and everybody ain't supposed to go with you.
There you go.
I'm gonna tell you that right
There
now.
you go.
You know
And
what I'm saying?
That's a 20-something year friendship, and I'm like, baby, if
And
you
thank you for it.
thank you for it, because in any relationship that we have, we gotta learn something. You know what I'm saying? I learned a lot in that friendship. I learned a lot in all of my past relationships,
Absolutely.
and it's
Past
taught me
jobs.
right now where I'm at in life. This is why I don't want certain things, because I know it happened in that relationship. I'm not willing to put up with it. I know how you made me feel in that friendship. I'm not willing to put up with it. I'm evolving. I'm changing. I'm not gonna be that same punching bag that I was for you 10 years ago. It's just not gonna happen, because that didn't put me in a good space.
Absolutely.
It didn't put me in a good space. So now that I'm not your punching bag no more, the friendship is over.
Absolutely.
Great.
Absolutely. I
I
find-
love it.
And one thing I was gonna say about social media is they got this big thing about being a boss, right? Everybody puts this light on being a boss. And when I talk to people, the first thing I hear come out their mouth is the first thing that have them being everything but a boss. They want their freedom. Man, I'm getting tired of the word freedom. Let me sit up on this, right? People don't understand the word freedom, right? Freedom is the most expensive thing you will ever pay for in your life. Because guess what? In order to be free, you got to pay for it with your life. Somebody else pick it up, because I'm going to get too deep into it.
No, go for it.
Get deep. I say get deep, because when you say
Don't
freedom,
ask me to go, because I go.
That means.
Don't ask me to go, because I go, and
if
y'all
you
already
wanna
know.
Be free, you want to be
So check
free
it
of
out.
everything.
Let me tell you something. People say that they want to be free. People say they want to be free, right? All the way until the bill come. Now everybody ready to run. Everybody want to know what they ate. Y'all done been to the restaurant, and somebody be like, they get the bill and they be like, what's this? What did I get?
Yeah.
You got everything you ate.
Yeah.
That's what you got. You got everything you ate. You got everything you drank. And this is the bill. And if you can't pay it, go grab some dishes.
You heard me?
That part.
Straight up. That part, right? So I tell people, I say, listen, bro, you ain't ready to live the life I live. You ain't ready to have the house I got. You ain't ready to drive the car I got. You ain't ready to have the bank account or the cards I got. Because guess what? It comes along with you giving up everything that you doing right now.
Yeah.
And you ain't ready to do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because when somebody come in my crib and they hear the music on, soft music, when they see me at the computer, when they see me trying to use my creativity to produce something that ain't, when I know that I'm supposed to have it, they scared of that. Because guess what? It's a party going on somewhere that I won't be going to.
They need the distraction.
It's a conversation going on somewhere that I won't hear. It's somebody somewhere that need a ride I can't give them. It's somebody right now that needs some company and I can't be there for them. It's somebody that need a shoulder to cry on and I can't lend it. Right? And that's just the life of being a boss.
I think social media is giving everybody this delusion of that we all can be free. We all can, be a boss. But like you said, everybody can't pay the cost.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like everybody's not meant to be, an entrepreneur. Everybody's not meant to be a boss of
A CEO.
employees, a CEO. Some people just got to play their role and be
And that's
okay with
okay.
that. And that's good.
Yeah.
We all are integral part of something. You know what I'm saying? So,
Justin
need our
said.
people.
know your place.
Justin said the other day, the freest people in the world are homeless people. People free from everything. They ain't got no bills. They ain't got no responsibilities. They ain't got nothing. Like that's freedom, right?
It really is.
So when people say they want to be free, like he said, they don't really understand what free is.
Yep.
You want to be free. You don't want to do the work. You don't want to do it. Then drop
And
everything.
It's funny you said that, because my lieutenant used to say the same thing about inmates in jail. You know, they don't have to worry about nothing. They told when to eat. They told when they can use the phone. They don't have to worry about no bills. None of that stuff. So, you know.
Man, I love that example. Inmates are the freest prisoners that you will ever see in your life.
Yep.
Because guess what? Not only are they free, they in captivity.
Yep.
And what people don't understand is to be free from one thing is to be bound by the other. Right? So you can be free from your relationship, but you bound by what? Loneliness.
Yep.
You bound by this. You bound by that, right? There is no free without boundaries. It's going to be something at one time. Like I can look at somebody inside the fence, and they can say, I'm safe because I'm in the fence. But you don't know if you locked in or locked out.
Right.
And that's what people don't understand. They do not understand freedom. Freedom comes with a cost.
And that's what the social media and the government or whoever they is, when we say they, that's what they've done to us. We don't realize that we don't have freedom. They give us, they make it feel like a freedom of choice, but they only give you 2-3 choices to choose from.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We don't even realize, my vote count. No, really, they're gonna do what they want to do. They're gonna move you in the direction that they want to move you in. That's why they got Snoop Dogg all over the political wave. You know, that's why they got, dude, in the black community, Donald Trump numbers went up, like skyrocketed, because he got grazed by a bullet.
And people thought that
And
was
black
just so
folk
great.
just, it's so cool to have your life in danger. We so traumatized.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's an endless cycle, and it again, it takes me back to having discernment and being able to understand, like, a lot of this stuff is staged, a lot of this stuff is fake. These are props. The world is full of props.
I was looking at one of my homeboys, Marcus, post earlier today, and he said, I forgot who actually made this statement, but he said, it was 50 Cent. 50 Cent said he was so used to trauma and chaos in his life that when he started rapping and he got around people who didn't have any trauma or chaos, he had to cause it just to make sure he was comfortable.
Yep.
Wow.
And that's so true about so many people.
Wow.
In so many circles and so many rooms.
So 50 said that's why he came out just shooting at everybody in the industry. He like, hey, you a wankster, you this, you that, because he was so full of chaos. And sometimes we don't understand how we are so used to trauma that when we get around somebody, and this could be in a relationship, I done seen women and men get into great relationships and bring none but trauma to somebody that deserved nothing less than the best.
Hurt people, hurt people, bro.
Hurt people, hurt people. And that's why it's important to deal with your trauma. Deal with your trauma, learn yourself before you get into these relationships.
And unfortunately, because we lack emotional intelligence, don't start.
he said the word.
Because
he said the word.
We're taught, we grew up in this trauma. You got to think, if we all grew up in the hood, hearing gunshots in the distance don't affect us like it does for people from other communities. You know, and so some of us are learning in our 30s, like, oh shit, I got these bad qualities. Or, oh shit, I got these flaws that I didn't think was a flaw because my mama did this and her mama did this and her daddy did this. And you know what I'm saying? We don't realize the damage that we're doing to other people. I believe that if we take out, like, who talked about therapy? Was it you?
Me.
We need therapy. We
Period.
need therapy even when we don't think we need therapy. And if we're not going to get out here and get therapy, we need to be watching different things online to get us closer.
So I agree and I disagree.
Okay.
But to hear what I disagree or agree on, y'all have to like chime in with us. Stay tuned, man. We're going to pick back up with this emotional intelligence.
Oh, shit.
There it is. All right, y'all. We want to thank y'all for tuning in to Culture Unplugged once again. We're going to end this with a few takeaways. From me, one thing that I will say when it comes to social media is learn yourself so you're not idolizing these relationships, these businesses and things like that. Figure out yourself. Figure out your own life. Figure out where you want to go. Figure out how you're going to get there. That way, what you see on social media is not really affecting you. It's not really influencing you. It's okay to take, advice and things like that from what you see, but don't idolize it. Don't live by what you see on social media, because you don't see what happens in the background. You don't see how these people got to where they are, and it ain't always cute.
My takeaway, something I hope that we can accomplish here at Culture Unplugged is we want to break up some of these ideals that people have, up and the seeds that social media can plant in people's lives. At the end of the day, taking it back to discernment and to delusion, like we have to know enough about the world and ourselves and how fake things are to know people online, they're going to show you their highlight reels. They're not going to show you the negative side. Just like a lot of these social media influencers, they give you little pieces of their business and how they started their business, but they don't go into the taxes and the accounting and how the books work and all that. You have to continually dig deep, continue to ask questions. Don't put all your eggs in this basket that social media may provide for you, because it's not real. If you get caught up in that, you'll find that you're misinformed. You only have half the information. So just, keep your head on the swivel, stay sharp, and, keep your discernment high.
That's real. Basically, remember that social media is a media website. It is the internet. So at the end of the day, everything that's being put out there has its own connotation behind it. There are people's stories that they aren't going to tell. There are, negative things behind every lens. You know what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, we're going to put out our best selves when we get on the internet, and we're not going to tell you all of the things in the background, all of our flaws. So just be yourselves. Don't be in competition with the next person. Just do what you got to do to build yourself up and have more interpersonal conversations with people who you inspire to be like, because at the end of the day, they're more likely to give you some insight when you do that one-on-one than what social media is going to give out. So.
One thing I say about social media is we got to remember that everybody will show you their trophy, but they won't show you their trials. Everybody will show you the championship ring, but they won't show you the challenges. It ain't as advertised. Just remember that. You know what I'm saying? Don't live your life through somebody else's lives.
Yeah.
Hey, but social media, this is Culture Unplugged, and we catch y'all next time.